Welcome to our show In Conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have with us Captain Zarir Irani in our show. Captain Irani has nearly 3 decades of experience in the maritime sector and nearly 2 decades of experience in maritime and energy surveying. He is based in Dubai. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you very much, Virendra. Pleasure to be there.
Sir, can you please give us a brief introduction about Constellation Marine Services?
Well, to be honest, Constellation Marine Services has been in business since 2007, March. A team of 20 run by an advisory board comprising of Alan Brink, Hugh Brown, and Captain John Noble. London is our headquarters because the board resides there. I chair the board and also hold a majority of the shares of the company. The advisory board guides and takes most of the decisions collectively so that there is no autocracy. A team of 20 full-time surveyors, including myself. We do expert witness work. We do marine warranty surveys. We do navigation audits. We do claims consultancy. And the latest that you can see, the star color has changed, the cyber consultancy, because we collectively as a board are of the view that the run-of-the-mill traditional risk that the maritime industry faces of grounding, fires, is now moving towards a digital risk. So we need to understand the digital risk, and hence the cyber vulnerability business vertical started 4 years ago. So that's what we do. We like to say that we are one of those companies which we don't want to change the shape of the wheel. The shape of the wheel has always been round and will always remain. But what's different about us is what the wheel looks like, what latest innovations we can have in that rim, what are the spokes, what are the strengths, what are the members that make it a versatile business. And that's something that I wear my MBA hat on and think hard to strategize. And that's my role in the board and the vessel.
That's really very nicely expressed, and that's why you are a market leader. I can see that. Sir.
No, thank you very much, sir. Nice of you. I mentioned vessel. I'm a captain of a ship, so I keep saying vessel to the company. I mean, pardon, I meant to say company. My role in the company, not on the vessel.
It's absolutely fine. It is understood. So, 2022 has been a year of mixed response. For some, it has been a year of bounce back, and some struggled due to the aftermath effects of COVID-19. What has been your experience?
Look, our experience, when I say it as an experience of Constellation Marine as a company, as a business. I enjoy every year as it comes. It's God's gift to be breathing post-COVID. Is a gift in itself. That's my personal humble thankfulness with which I go to bed every night and sleep well. But as a company, I must say, we want to split a year in 2 halves. The first half, we really didn't have any time to think or strategize. We were literally finished off with scribbling on the drawing board during the COVID years. And as a result, we ended up getting 3 awards in 2021. The last quarter got us 2 Lloyds List and Sea Trade Awards and 1 Cybersecurity Award, which carried through the momentum of the trust equity that we had built over the years and through these awards. And the first quarter of 2022 was literally in and out of boiler suits. We made 3 new recruits within that first year. It's first half of the year itself. And then came the general gloom and doom about the Ukrainian war. Then the recession was written all over the global sentiments. And that showed in the way the container markets turned southwards. That was half through the year. And thereafter, we had a bit of a slow late summer month, a couple of months. which we quickly course corrected and are now back on track as the second half. So, like I said, the second half of the year has been different. And then came along this wonderful Christmas gift, which we got from the Maritime Administration, Antiqua and Barbuda. Right the day before Christmas, I got an email from the technical director there, indicating that Antigua and Barbuda, as a Department of Marine Services, they have confirmed through their cabinet decision that they're going to have Constellation Marine as their satellite office, and we are going to run the flag from our Dubai office for the region, which gives a good boost to our 2022 efforts. And I'd like to remember the year as these positive endings, which give us the confidence that what we do is resonating with the industry, with whitelisted flags like Antigua, who give us the mandate of going along with running their flag administration through our office here. I'm the Deputy Registrar myself for the flag. Mind you, I might add for your listeners here, this is very different from citizenship or anything of that sort. This is purely maritime registration operation, because we know a certain few characters from our region who have kind of tried to defame this administration and the country in some way or the other. So that's been how it was for us in 2022. And also 2022, on a personal note, I turned 50. So that was what was special about.
Congratulations, and you already got a very good gift, Christmas gift. So that's really wonderful.
Thank you.
So coming to the next question. What are the business sentiments in the Middle East? We hear a lot of different actually views, in India about what is happening in the business, particularly the maritime business. So we would like to know from you, what are the business sentiments in the Middle East?
Yeah. So let me tell you from a perspective what I know, which is exactly what you just mentioned, maritime perspective. Let me explain what has happened in the recent past. Maritime businesses have got a free hand in the last 2 years from the government to be free of any sponsors. So as a business, we don't need a sponsor. We've chosen to be with our long-standing sponsor, Abdul Manan Capital. He's been with the company from day one, been a godfather for the business. This is literally how the businesses used to be running when we started way back in 2007. But that's been a positive. So Maritime has become a preferred business unit, business segment here. So it has the lovely privileges that come along with it. But what's interestingly happened in this year has been the fact that the government has offered a couple of very innovative initiatives. One of them came as late as last week, that a UAE national can continue to earn his salary without coming to office for a whole year, as long as he starts a business. So that's a huge boost to the SME segment. That's across the board, but particularly so the maritime segment, because there are a lot of them who look at the government's goodwill towards this segment in a very positive way. So there are a lot of small companies, small freight forwarding, small shipping businesses which are popping up or are expected to pop up in 2023 because of this initiative of the government. So the UAE national who would or nationals oriented businesses will take a very, very nice turn in 2023. This is my positive indication. And of course, the place has been always very favorable. There's been the no income tax directive for years, so you can take your entire salary without having any tax deductibles, which is unlike most other places. VAT is just 5%, and as a business, you can always claim back most of the VAT that you pay for your needs, personal or business needs. And of course, there is corporate tax coming beyond $100,000 profit from this summer onwards of 2023, upcoming summer, but that's just 9%, and that's 9% of profits over the $100,000 mark, which is pretty good. I think we can get a tax holiday for the first 100,000, and I think all in all, it's very very fertile as such for businesses in the maritime segment to flourish. And I only say from what I have gained and I have flourished, so I'll only speak positives because that's my experience that has been.
That's really wonderful. So, how has the geopolitical scenario affected the trade in the Middle East in terms of value and volume? And what is your expectation from the coming year?
Well, I'll tell you what the geopolitical scenario, UAE as such has always gained from a lot of conflicts in the region, may it be the Bahrain uprising, the Arab Spring, may it be the Gulf War, or the recent Ukraine devastation that's going on. There's a lot of ingress of people coming from the Eastern Bloc. Recently, I would say the last month, we've started seeing a lot of Chinese businesses coming in, starting up in our segment as well. So the geopolitical scenario plays a very important role. Conflicts and disturbances globally have always been good, not just for UAE, but any such expat-driven economy, may it be Malta, Cyprus, Singapore, Hong Kong, Las Palmas, all these, Gibraltar, all these, global hot Virgin Islands, which are there around the world, have always gained from ingress wherever there is global conflict. So there's a lot of that happening over the last year or this year, 2022. And my projections and expectations in the coming year, personally speaking, I think if you ask me, ADNOC has already been declared as the world's largest oil exploration company. They've taken over the global feeders recently. They've bought over Zarir Marine, who have the largest rig owning fleet. They are doing everything in-house, and that's literally an hour and a half from my office in Business Bay here. In my view, the trajectory of growth, which the IMF has declared as 4.5 positive, is in itself one of the top 5 growth curves for 2023 for the UAE. And that speaks a lot, I would say. Of course, Saudi Arabia is marked ahead of us, but that's again in the region. India is not bad, by the way. India is on a good 6.5 or something, a positive growth. But the rest of the world, if you see generally all the usual top-ranking economies, as per IMF, are looking at either a shrinking or a stagnating growth over the next year. So I would say it is a very, very positive sentiment that we are having. We've already experienced an absolute crazy influx during the Qatar World Cup, because all those who came to watch the match there have had a pit stop in Dubai in some way, form, the other. And of course, the New Year buzz is always really lively. Dubai is recording this week its largest through traffic ever through its airports in UAE. So all this translates into more people. More people means more cargo. More cargo means more ships calling. More ships calling means more claims. More claims means we have to be ready, sleeping in our boiler suits probably, and getting up and running for a job if there is a call.
Yeah, that's very much actually visible from the way you are speaking. So
you can see it in my cheer and my spirit, can't you?
What markets for the coming year, for 2023, for the global shipping markets?
So look, first of all, I must start with an SYA statement that I'm no expert in global trends, but I must.
So I'm sure.
No, not in trends. No, not in trends. I know what I'm doing, and of course, we have to keep an eye on the macro picture of how the industry is progressing to be able to get our decisions right. But I'm no expert in it, so I would like to start with a small little caveat there. But I'll start with the bad news, so that's out of the way. The container trade, unfortunately, has dried up, and I think it will remain dry for 2023. So my prediction is that it'll go back to the pre-pandemic rates, and already we've seen a few vessels already marching through along, the older ones which were there because they were there employed and making some money. So the asset owners carried on with them as trading vessels. But those are marching in as we speak, and that'll be the bad news for 2023 for that segment. I think the cycles which we talked about during our sailing days of 7 to 8 years or maybe 10 years of global shipping cycles, ups and downs, those days are gone. Now we're talking about shorter cycles, spikes, and quick decision making. So an agile company who's able to make quick decisions, not stick with too many long-term contracts, will be the ones who will flourish, in my view, and be able to take quicker decisions this way or the other. With regards to the handy bulkers, especially the ones with cranes, I think the market has always been, those are the Devanands of our times. You see, they'll never grow old, they'll never go out of fashion, they'll always be making money. They've got gears, they've got the drafts, they've got small cargo parcels, they can carry 2 or 3 different grades in each hold. So those are the evergreens of the trade, and they'll continue to do well, no matter what. The tanker trade also has had a good year. As long as the conflict in Ukraine carries on, tanker markets will remain buoyant, and so the tanker business will continue. But the shining star has been the gas segment, and I tell you what, this summer we used to give 2-week validity on our valuation certificates for maritime assets, because, as you know, we do chartered valuation certification for the banks, for underwriters, sometimes for asset owners who are doing pre-purchases. And our report comes on the back of an inspection, so it's much more valid than a desktop exercise, which most brokers or others do. So it is held in good stead. And we've reduced the duration of these valuations to 1 week, which we never ever did in my 19 years of being here. 1 week, we can't give you more. This rates are only valid for 1 week. 1 week later, the new rates come back to us. We'll value it again and give you a fresh certificate. So if you're making a purchase decision or a lending decision, you have to do it within that week for that certificate to be valid, which is very, very surprising, because the gas market was spiking so much, so fast, that we had to take that stand to be relevant with our figures. Very volatile segment, and I think 2023 is going to continue being there. Those trends which the LNG, LPG markets have seen of long-term contracts, 10 years of tonnage certified carriage contracts, I think those days are gone. Unless you want to just carry your own cargo, like the Q classes from Qatar. You have your own ships, you have your own cargo, and you sign up with your own vessels and assets for 20, 15 years to the life of the vessel. But those days are long gone, I think, for either asset owners or the sea. And if you ask me the global trends, if those who have made money, and I think you will see more of that, you will see a lot of prudent ship owners signing up for new builds. You will see a lot of them going for dual fuel. You will see them with signing up for a lot of hybrid engines. A lot of alternative fuel talk going on in the market with CII and EEXI kicking in from Jan. I think swapping old tonnage and signing up for new builds with a good CII rating and EEXI rating is going to be where the good companies will distinguish themselves from the bad companies, or the struggling companies, or the make-do companies, or the coastal shipping, or the Mickey Mouse companies, so to say. There's going to be a big parity between the good boys and the bad boys. The bad boys will still stay. Like I say, the bullock carts are still there, the horse carriage carts are still there, and some places in our own country, there are still humans pulling the carts with the passengers in the back. All right, how cruel that sounds or looks, but that's always going to be there. So that segment is always, the bottom scavengers. You can't do without the prawns and the squids of the market. They always are there for a reason. They will remain. But I think the parity will be there. There'll be a nice distinct clarity, and the people who intend to be in business in the next decade or so will go in for cleaner fuel, will invest in technology, will be more cyber secure, and will embrace all these new words that have popped into the shipping industry. And to summarize, the winners will be those who are able to take quick decisions, be light on their feet, on their assets, and have a healthy relationship with their lenders, with the banks, because with the Pasadena principle, green shipping and lending for cleaner fuel alternatives is going to be becoming more and more prominent in the coming year. That's my summary of the markets. I end with again saying, if I get it wrong, you pay the price for it, because the show's yours, not mine. I'm here as a consultant. I view my opinion, and I get paid nevertheless. Not by you, but others.
Very much, Captain Zarir Irani. You have a quick decision taker, and we can see that that's why you're winning so many awards from various publications and organizers. Thank you very much for this time, for taking out this time for us. And we wish you and your team, your family, very happy New Year. Have a very safe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. And to you too. Have a rocking 23. Sorry. Shipping Tribune, may it flourish. Namaste and Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.